Now, in case any of you are wondering how I became a writer, let me tell you. Sometimes I sit in front of the computer and I wonder the same thing. But it all started when I was a little girl about your age. I grew up in Aurora. This is my hometown. Born and raised here, I was blessed with a Mexican-American family. I'm actually the first member of my family, even before my mom and dad, to be an American citizen because I was born here. My grade school was St. Nicholas. My high schools were at Aurora Central Catholic High School, and my senior year was at West Aurora High School. I went on to Community College at Wabanzi. And then I received my bachelor's degree at Aurora University. My ability to speak and retain Spanish fluency came from living at home. We spoke Spanish in the house mainly because my mother and father came from Mexico, and they were very comfortable speaking to us in their native language. I'm sure many of you experience that now. But among my brothers and sisters, and there were 6 of us, we spoke English. At school we spoke English, with our teachers we spoke English, with our friends we spoke English. I became so comfortable speaking English everywhere that before you could say, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, I was always speaking English to everyone. Anybody would listen. Now, my parents were happy that I could adopt and adapt to the ways of what they considered and what I knew is my country. But they also understood and appreciated the value of Spanish, particularly since they were witnessing firsthand the arrival and growing population of Hispanics that were arriving to America, taking up residence in Aurora back in the 1960s. Speaking a different language in America has never been anything new. In fact, when my mother and father moved into Aurora, our neighborhood spoke Hungarian and Czechoslovakian. Yeah. Through our entire history as the United States, we have had waves of immigrants coming from all parts of the world to live right here in America. They bring with them their customs, their traditions, their language, their food. In other words, they bring with them their way of life. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, because it's the differences among the people that live in this country that make it so exciting and strong. They call it the American fiber. Let me give you a visual of what I'm talking about. See the colors and threads interwoven to make this lovely placemat? Envision this placemat as being America. The colors in this placemat represent the people and the different customs that they bring to this country. The thread woven within the fabric makes it hold together and keeps it strong. America is just like this placemat. We're colorful, we're sewn together, and we're strong. Now I'm going to tell you a sad truth. There are people who might not like the idea of America as a colorful place. When persons from different nations come to live in America, they sometimes have to deal with people who are afraid of a colorful America. And therefore, their differences are not accepted. That happens. This is a sad thing. But the good news is, it doesn't stop anybody from coming and living here and becoming part of our country. Friction over immigrants and cultural differences has always been part of our nation's history. In fact, let me share with you a quote from Ben Franklin. You know who I'm talking about. It's that guy that decided to go out into a thunderstorm and fly a kite with a key attached to the bottom of the string. He was one of America's greatest inventors. And in 1751, before America even won its independence from Britain, he said the following: "Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will surely be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of our Anglifying them? They will never adopt our language or our customs." So basically what Ben Franklin was saying was this: the German immigrants of that era were not welcome because he believed and he feared that the German people would bring with them their own culture and that they would never assimilate. How many of you have heard the word assimilation? It's a big word that simply means blending in. Learning to become a part of something new and adopting another way of life. Now, Ben Franklin was a very smart man. He knew a lot of things. but he was very wrong about assimilation into American culture. Today, it seems very foolish to think of Pennsylvanians of German descent as nothing more than 100% American. But those very same complaints did not stop their Ben Franks in Europe. Very similar and even more harmful and hurtful complaints and complaints can be heard today directed towards the Hispanic. But you know what? There's no doubt in my mind that in the future, hopefully very soon, those types of comments are going to seem just as foolish as they did back then in Ben Franklin's era. Immigrants have been assimilating for years. The smart ones, let me use my family as an example. My mom and dad came to this country and didn't speak a word of English, but they learned very quickly because the first thing they wanted everyone to know is that they needed to understand what was happening around them, and they wanted to be understood. Leading by example, their children learned and spoke English very well. Can you tell? We also learned to like hamburgers instead of tacos. Yep, we really dug the food of this nation. We couldn't get enough of those hot dogs, pizza, French fries, ice cream, soda, and apple pie. You name it, we ate it, and we loved it. Of course, that wasn't the end of our tacos and tamales, aguas frescas, churros and flan. Oh, heck no, can you tell? We might have been adopting the American way of life, but on those special holidays like Dia de los Muertos, Dia de los Santos Reyes, Pascua, Año Nuevo, we still broke the piñata and wore colorful outfits. Growing up in America for me was exactly like this place now. The American holidays, the Mexican holidays, the Mexican culture, the American traditions, all interwoven to make me a very colorful and strong individual.